For this lesson, we're going to make a crayon resist haunted house. You'll need a piece of paper and a pencil. First, draw your haunted house. Make it spooky. Make it look old-fashioned, make it look even spookier. Don't forget to add windows, doors, and anything in the yard that will make it look more scary or old-looking. Once you get done drawing your haunted house, start to color with crayon. Make sure that when you color really heavily. So push really hard with your crayon so that we can make a good resist with the paint or with the bleeding tissue paper, whichever you choose to paint in the background. The crayon is going to resist the paint and make it so that no paint will go where the crayon is at. So if you don't color hard enough, the paint will go through the crayon. So make sure you color very heavily. Once you get done coloring, figure out whether you're going to use watercolor in the background or bleeding tissue paper. Bleeding tissue paper can be found outside the school in the art tubs. Bleeding tissue paper is different from regular tissue paper because when you put water on top of it, it actually bleeds the color of the tissue paper onto the paper underneath. So it's like you're using paint without the mess. You're going to need a paintbrush and a cup of water in order to get the tissue paper wet in order for it to bleed onto the paper. So I cut up or tore up my tissue paper in little pieces, and now I am painting the tissue paper with my water. You want to really soak the tissue paper as you're doing this so that it doesn't stick off the paper at all. And you want to make sure that there's no white spaces in between. So it really needs to be filled up completely. Try and go around the house and around the moon as much as possible. Fill in those little spaces with little pieces. Add some extra water if you want your color to be extra rich underneath the tissue paper. Once you've coated it completely, let it dry for a couple of hours. Don't peel off the tissue paper yet because it won't work if you peel it off too soon. Now that my picture is dry, I'm going to wipe away all the tissue paper and look at the cool effect that it gives you on your paper when you're finished. That's a spooky looking haunted house.